Hey there, before we continue with this video, make sure you are subscribed to the channel and you have bell notifications for all uploads. Hello everyone! For this video, we're going to be talking about a small news update for Dynamite Belial, and talking about some other stuff for the products that have been recently updated. So for those that are completely unaware, they did recently do a blog post on Dynamite, just kind of explaining stuff. And we also did get some other information, one of which I can't show the picture because it's the Koro, but I can read it, you know, I can just read what it says, which is in regards to actually the weight for Dynamite Belial. So the weights for it, I think, was really exaggerated. They said it was supposed to be lighter than the Sparking Bays. On the scan that I'm seeing, unless somehow it's wrong, Belial is supposed to be 64.05 G for its stock, and then after Tempest is supposed to be 77.69, nice, for its stock. So when they compare it to Tempest stock to Belial stock, it really is just because of charged metal giving it a lot of that weight. So the DB Bays being outclassed by weight, I don't think is going to be a worry at all. It seems to be the average sparking weight, which is good. Now, it still does not mean that these bays are somehow going to be top tier at launch, but just to mention that. So, they mentioned the fact that it's light, but it's not really that light, so which is really confusing. I know what I assume they probably mean is that for the whole DB series, it won't outclass Sparking in weight. Like, it's not going to be, by the end of it, maybe heavier than Sparking the bays, which I think would make a lot of sense. So that's probably why what they mean by even if it's light. I do know that the bays are still supposed to be pretty wide, which I think is interesting. So, the secret strength of the centrifugal force of the circular armor and the low center of gravity of the... Yeah, okay, we get the idea. So, with low and high mode, there's different center of gravity, right? There's a different... Obviously, for low... So, depending on where the armor is, if the armor is low or if the armor is high, like it's above it, then there's obviously going to be a difference with it. That being said, we got the second image here, which talks about it. So, we already know about this. This isn't anything really new, but just to go over it. So, obviously with low mode, which is where the armor is below, it's going to give a lower center of gravity. And for high mode, it's going to be upwards. It's going to be a high center of gravity because of how it's placed. Now, what's interesting is I do believe the Volcari kind of talked about the burst resistance on the high mode maybe not being as strong. Now, that is a rumor. The reason why I say that is because a lot of stuff for Volcari is not 100%. Most of it is rumorous. Sometimes it's true, sometimes it's not, and it's just a rumor. With that being said, we go on to the most interesting part, which is Dynamite Belial Evolves, which is actually going to probably be in the title. So the main character, Dynamite Belial Nexus Venture, and 2 is the armor, that appears in the anime Beyblade vs. Dynamite Battle, will evolve by attaching the evolution parts that will be attached to other products that will appear in the future. Now, what exactly does this mean? So first of all, I think Volcari even said actually that it's supposed to evolve from some parts in the future. Now, what exactly could this mean? I think this will be a mix of Strike God Valkyrie and Z Achilles slash the Geist Fafnir situation. It's Z Achilles and Geist Fafnir because it's going to be attached to future products that you'll have to buy, and Strike God Valkyrie obviously because there's Ultimate Reboot, there's Strike God chip that upgraded Valkyrie. So it probably means that they're going to lock in parts for future products. Now, what I'm assuming is that, let's say the 3 parts that they're pointing to is what they're going to be changing. Let's say it's seemingly the blade, the disc, and I guess it's either the armor or the chip, which I'm super interested to see how they would exactly evolve it. Personally, I would prefer they just do it like this than have it where it's like a Belial evolution. I don't think evolutions are that... I prefer it like the original. Like, I think Strike God was handled really well. And same with the Z Achilles. I just don't like it where the Protag has to evolve their bay, because that could be a slot for another bay that it could take up, which I feel is more interesting. But the last part, which gives us more clarity on the launcher in the stadium, So the custom Bay Launcher LR is divided into 3 units that can be recombined and remodeled. Okay, it's gonna be in future products, they're going to have these customization parts. So here's what's interesting. We hear that the launcher is going to have future parts that are going to make it customizable in future releases. We hear that Belial is going to have parts that is going to upgrade it in the future. Now, what I think they're going to do is probably for the launcher and for the upgrade for Belial, they'll kind of combine it, similar to the ZANKYE / Geist Fafnir situation, and we'll have something like that. Now, the stadium sounds better and better. Now, obviously, there are people who still like, you know, I'm not really the biggest fan on it just having 2 pockets instead of 3, which is perfectly fine. But the stadium has expanded to 125% compared to the conventional base standard type stadium. In addition, the battle area has 2 steps and the central angle is deeper, so you can enjoy a fierce battle. So not only does this thing have 2 Regis, but the stadium is deeper. And there's 2 pockets. Now this is going to be extremely interesting for attack types now. Because obviously in the standard stadium, attack types kind of had it fairly easy. Because of how big the bays are and how small the stadium is, it wasn't that hard for an attack type to KO and easily get a victory. But now, since it's deeper and bigger, the stadium, it makes it so there's a lot more strategy involved. I don't think this will necessarily nerf attack types. I'm sure bays like Rage, or if you use like a Judgment on Extreme Dash combo, will still KO, but I assume it's going to be less easy, which means it's going to be very important for strategic play. What types are going to really benefit from the stadium? Will attack types still be as strong? These are the questions that make it so interesting for this new season. This stadium, I gotta say, it's not out yet, but it sounds extremely promising. Way more promising than the Dash Stadium is. It's literally just the same stadium, bigger, minus the pockets, I guess. But definitely let me know your thoughts in the comments. What do you think of the evolution parts, as well as customization for future products? Do you think they will handle this effectively? Do you think TAT might botch it? What do you think of the stadium? How well do you think the types will benefit in this stadium? I'm curious, and let me know in the comments as well. Later today, we should have a video going in depth on Pro Series Wave 2. Not monetized on that video. So make sure you check it out later today. So stay safe during these times. We are less than a month away from the new series beginning. That'll be it for now.